Hey guys, I'm back again, and this time I brought some friends along with me. Today we're meeting up early for cars and coffee here in Eugene, and then we're going to head out on a trek afterwards. It's really great being able to put people's rigs and Instagram names to actual faces and names. And it's even better to be able to get out and socialize on the trails. We're heading from North Eugene west, towards Fern Ridge and beyond, and out to Triangle Lake. Today we'll spend a few hours as a group exploring the BLM roads above Triangle Lake. This area is just about 8 miles south of the Prairie Peak area that I posted in my last video. It's a pretty decent Sunday today. We had a pretty huge thunderstorm yesterday, but it's looking a little bit better today. For today's outing, we have a pretty diverse group of off-roading vehicles. There are 4 Subarus, 4 CRVs, 2 Jeeps, a Toyota, and a Dodge. I've never been out to this area before, so I'm having a pretty fun time just hanging back and taking in all the views. Matt, or NavRD1 on Instagram, is our leader for today. He's done a couple of trips out here beforehand to research the trip for today. I think that we can all agree that he picked a fun route and a fun area to explore. The Oregon Coast Range is actually classified as a rainforest. It may not be tropical like the rainforest you'd expect in South America, but it does receive quite a bit of rain during the winter months. With the big storm we had hit us out of nowhere yesterday, it's left the trails a little bit muddy, but that's not a bad thing. A little bit of mud on the rig always helps. Like most of the Oregon coastal range, there's patches you'll reach where there's just big clear cuts. These areas are usually the best for finding good views, especially if you can get up to a high point like this one. When planning a big group outing like this, it's best to do a pre-plan and plan out a route where you're not going to hit any dead ends or snags in the trip. If you hit a dead end, it's pretty hard to turn a bunch of rigs around in a tight space. So we try and make a good flowing loop so we can easily go through and complete the route. This area provides a nice variety of open spaces as well as pretty dense forested areas. There's some pretty old trees in here, and it's pretty fun to be in the tall standing timber. I've also heard that there's a couple of play areas out here, so I'm hoping we'll reach those spots here later on. We use handheld radios to communicate between a couple of group members. It would be nice to have a group radio for everybody, but unfortunately we don't have quite that many to hand out. One nice thing that I've quickly noticed about not leading the group is it's opened up a lot more time for me to do some filming, and honestly, that's the reason why I've been able to make this video for you guys today. Had I realized beforehand that I would have had this much free time to film, I would have been better equipped to make a day of filming. Despite not having my GoPro set up to film, I was still having a blast filming what action footage I could capture on my phone. It looks like we had now found a little play area to explore. Take a look at that weird geological object there. That was some sort of sandstone or some type of rock, I'm not exactly certain, but it was all crumbled to pieces and there had been a hole that looked like it had been carved into it. But around the base of it here, there was a couple of mud puddles to splash around in, which was pretty fun. Well, now that we've got some fun out of our bones, it's time to settle down and have a little bit of lunch. Alright, so I'll give you guys the inside scoop on today's lineup and the Instagrams that go along with the rigs here, so you can go and give them a follow. Right here, there's BP Oil Spiller, this is the Dude Razor, Eloexico 95 is next to him in this first gen CRV, nice, he's coming out from Quinville, this is Pacific Northwest CRV. I have no idea what this one is, just ignore that. Sandy Trek here. This is Tyler Aldrich's friend Sean. He doesn't have an Instagram. Back here we have Nav RD1, our leader for today, and Herschel77 in his nice Jeep behind him, and Ty D. Aldrich in his Toyota Tacoma truck. And over here we have Brandon Battleheart and Battleheart Off-Road, and Chris Trek in his Cross Trek. After our stop for lunch, we gave an option for the group members that wanted to head home to head back into town, and for the rest that wanted to adventure longer, we continued on, and luckily, Prairie Peak is not far from here at all, so we decided to head up there and go to the summit since it was still a pretty clear day out. And of course, no trip out to Prairie Peak would be complete without stopping at the big gravel quarry. It's a pretty rare sight for me to see another silver CRV ripping up the trails, but I'm getting a kick of Nav RD1 ripping up this play area here. Just days ago, he put a lift on his rig and put new tires on it. He did the 2-inch rear and 1-inch front Honda Rescue Garage lift spacers with 215/75/15 BFG KO2 tires, and he is completely in love with them. Just look at how he's spinning around out here. I've been out here 4 times now, and most of those times have been by myself, so it's nice to bring a big group of friends out here to play around with.
Do it!
After messing around a little bit here in the play area, we've decided to head up to the top of Prairie Peak, which is just up the hill here. Well, maybe we'll play around just one last little time before we head up. I love this little hill here, it's so fun. This section of the road going up to the top gets rough and rutted pretty quickly. When we got to the top, everybody was elated with how fun this road segment was. This road is steep, rugged, and it switchbacks multiple times with good viewpoints, which just makes this route all the more fun. The big rains that came through yesterday left a couple of big puddles up here too, which we've all been able to splash in, which was an added bonus for this area. We've made it to the top prairie area now, and we're all heading to the main viewpoint to regroup and regather and soak in the views. And of course, there I go using this opportunity to take some more pictures and more video. I'm always surprised by the lack of other people up here. Yet again, we are the only people up on top. Last Sunday I was out here and I was the only person again, and it was like 85 degrees and perfectly sunny. This is a great area to come to if you want to be alone and soak in some good views of the surrounding hills and the surrounding valleys, and all the way back into town. We've been out exploring for over 4 hours now, and what's left of our original group from earlier this morning has decided that it's time to head home and head back into town. I'm really pleased with how everything's ended up going today. It was really nice that we had the extra time and we were so close and able to come up here to Prairie Peak and enjoy the view. It's pretty hard to resist playing in this big gravel pit here, so we took one more lap around it before heading home. Nav RD1 found the majestic photo perch. I think this has to be one of the coolest spots in this area to take photos. We were also able to get together some good little group shots of the RD1 gang. Ever since I started building up my first gen CRV, I've had a vision of going out off-roading with a big group of other first gen CRVs. Like, I don't know, at least like 5 or 6 would be awesome just to go bombing down the trail. Just think of the reaction of people you pass by, like a big group of Jeeps or something, seeing all these old CRVs out in the trail wondering what they're up to. That would just be the perfect sight. After getting the last of our Yahoos out, we said our goodbyes and made our way back towards home. It's been a great day out here, and we got to share it with a lot of good friends. I'm really looking forward to the next one next month. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to me here on YouTube and on my Instagram if you want to stay in touch with the next event and make it out yourself.